You can experience whatever you desire as long as your desires are balanced and polarized with understanding and belief. We talked about this earlier. If you have a expectation or you throw out something that you can think, but you don't really believe it can happen, then obviously you don't expect to manifest it. A belief in your own abilities is what helps you achieve that ability, from that ability. So if you think you can climb Mount Everest, and you believe that, and you go and do it, you have a chance of actually doing it. And if you have self-doubt, well, you have a more high probability of not making it to the top. Same thing. Are your desires balanced with your state of consciousness? That's what I talk about. Like I said, just like your ideal lifestyle and what you're visualizing will change, that's going to change based on your state of consciousness. You know, as you're thinking today may not be as you think tomorrow, so your ideal situation will change and evolve with you. We all manifest the experiences that reflect our present state of polarity, growth, and healing and balance. All experiences are provided in order to give us the opportunity to make the choices that can increase our growth, healing, and balance. Okay? So, just as you're manifesting more positive experiences, you're also manifesting more opportunities for growth. So it doesn't matter whether you move this way, or how fast you go. All of the manifestations that you achieve are there to help you grow even further. Okay? And they come with benefits. Obviously, if you can do it on one side or the other and stay polarized, they come with greater benefits than if you're, going back and forth through here and you're still manifesting. You're manifesting on every path, even in the middle, in the chaos. It's not necessarily fun in that zone. Manifestation. More than just thinking and affirming that which you desire, you must also clear the blockages. We've talked about this before. Heal and balance yourself to a level by which you can attract such experiences. In order to manifest more positive, you must heal, grow, and past your need to manifest the lessons, mistakes, and painful experiences. In other words, if you want to grow positive, obviously you're going to manifest the lessons in between there, and you want to keep learning from those lessons to continue to grow positive. Some of these can only be provided through negative experiences. We've talked about that pain and control are the stimulus that we've chosen to move positive for because of the pain of our experiences and the control and the other factors that we see in life. Random thoughts versus long-term patterns. Okay. A single thought action impacts manifestation. Absolutely. I talked about this a little bit earlier, where even though I'm over here, maybe somewhere, I still have random thoughts on this side for issues that I haven't completely healed and old patterns. But random thoughts and actions do not have as much as an impact as obviously the full force of where you are consciously. So, it's the 90-10 rule. If 90% of you is over here and 10% is over here, well, then 90% of your manifestations are going to be more positive. Okay, it's that simple. So having a random thought doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to manifest something terrible. If you're over here 90% of the time, that 10% may not mean anything. Okay, it may keep you from achieving the hugely positive manifestations, but it's not necessarily going to make you manifest something negative. Okay, so there's a fear factor there, and I've seen it with people before. I may say something through observation. Like I see a lot of things in the world, and I see a lot of things in people that I don't put any weight on. I don't put any emotion on it. It's just what I see. It's just an observation. And some people take that as, oh my God, I can't even think that because I don't want that person to manifest it, or I don't want to manifest it. I'm like, okay, that's fear. If you don't have fear, you have understanding, then it's not impacting anything except an observation. It's just a statement. Okay, the more emotion you put behind it, the more chance it is to manifest. Manifestation, perceived versus reality. Perceived is that your future experiences will only become more positive. Okay, that'd be the ideal world, wouldn't it? That you make this choice and then all of a sudden you're over here. Well, unfortunately, the universe has other plans for you. In order to stay over here, you're going to have to be tested with some experiences which may not be positive. Okay, and so, I mean, some people think that, oh yeah, I'm going to just start practicing this, and then life's going to be perfect. Again, you're moving out of whether you're close to this or in this zone, you're moving away from it. And as a result, you're going to have to deal with what you are doing today in manifestation. And the tests, obviously, are different levels of growth. Demanifestation can only occur naturally through positive actions or for positive results. In other words, if you are looking to demanifest something, all you have to do is work on manifestation. You don't have to work on the demanifestation. If you're manifesting positive, things are going to demanifest naturally. And if you try to force them out of your life, force, control, they will stay there until you learn how to do it. And I've experienced this. I've had people go through these workshops and they said, oh, I really didn't like this person, and so I wouldn't return their calls, and I didn't want to talk to them anymore. I didn't want to see them anymore. So I tried to demanifest them by thinking that I never wanted to see them again. All right, then they call me up and I say, well, that's not going to work. And they didn't believe me. So one day I get a call and this person says, you won't believe this. He says, I was in my house, and all of a sudden I get a knock at the door, and it's this person that I've been trying to demanifest. Now the person didn't even know why they were there. They drove into the driveway, didn't even realize they'd driven into their driveway, came up to the door and knocked on it. All right? Equal and opposite forces. She was trying to push this person away. Ultimately, the person was pulled towards them. Okay? It's interesting, but just a fun little anecdote. So positive results. In other words, if somebody is doing a poor me on the telephone, and you're thinking, you know what, this doesn't work for me anymore. I don't like having these conversations. They're not healthy. They don't feel good. I want to stay over here, and they're making me pulling me this way because it's a control drama. Okay, so you're not saying anything, you're not responding, you're breaking the control drama. All right? But you have to deal with it. You can't just not take the phone calls. If somebody calls you and they leave you a message and you've been friends with them for a long time, you can't just cut the umbilical and say, okay, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. That's disrespectful. That's not positive demanifestation. Okay, positive demanifestation is dealing with the situation, talking to the person, breaking the control drama, and letting that person decide if they want to go away. That's positive demanifestation. Okay, and if you don't do it that way, you will continue to attract them or something similar situation until you get it down. So you have to honor and respect the situation. That's positive. Disrespecting somebody is going to just cause you to have to do it over again. Notable quotes. Vengeance is mine, an eye for an eye. Okay. Vengeance is mine. I mean, my interpretation of that is that cause and effect. Okay, it's not to do, if somebody does something to you, you don't have to do anything to them or even wish anything to be done to them because they're attracting it upon themselves. Vengeance is mine only means that the universe takes care of it. The universal law. What you put out comes back to you. Okay? An eye for an eye, same thing. What you put out comes back to you. This doesn't mean that we're supposed to take action and cause somebody pain because they caused you pain. And I see this time and time again. Where people think that because somebody did something to them, they have to do it back, and ultimately what they're doing is, what they're doing? They're manifesting the whole time. Okay. Centering. Being centered harnesses your energy for greatest focused application. Okay. Keeps you from entering the neutral zone and making poor choices. We already talked about that. When you're not centered, you have a 90% probability that you're going to make the wrong choice if you make a choice when you're not centered. And that doesn't mean anything's right or wrong. That just means it's not necessarily in your most positive manifestation plan. There's nothing that's right or wrong. Everything's perfect.